We are a brewery that brews and ferments and sells beer right here at this location and this location only. We'll have anywhere between 6 to 10 different beers on tap at any given time. The spectrum will go from saisons to wild ales to IPA, double IPA, to imperial stouts. When I was at Switchback, we brewed a beer using the hops from the extension program. That turned out to be the extra pale ale. It was all cone hops. When we created Foam Brewery, the idea behind that was that we were going to use some of those hops, and so Heather's reached out, and we've been able to get those hops. Typically, it's Cascade and Nugget that we use, and we found that those hops are pretty interesting in the fact that the flavors that contribute. So if we were to buy our Cascade, which we do, we have them contracted from, they grow out in the Yakima Valley. You know exactly what those hops are going to be like. They're going to be typically have that very citrusy, a little bit of pine note. Let's say the Cascade that we get from UVM, those hops are going to have a little bit more of a terroir effect to them, and those are, it's going to be kind of peachy and have a little bit of melon character. Primarily, we get a lot of honeydew, so we did a beer with those this summer, and we're going to continue to brew one probably for the hop conference coming up in February. We do have some experimental varieties that we've been given to test, so I think that's going to be one that we're going to be doing for the hop conference. So we're even jazzed about trying these hops. We have varieties of hops that, you know, a fair amount, then we don't necessarily need to use them. So, but for us, it's all about how the flavor and aroma is in the beer, and obviously we would use it if it didn't come through. And so for us, using these hops and using this malt, it's fantastic. That's at the end of the day too, we don't really know, how these hops are going to come through in the end. And that's the beauty of it. That's what we look for when we're brewing the beer. And pleasantly, it's been fantastic. So I look forward to trying this next brew that we do for February. It's not a gimmick, it's not a gimmick for us. We're getting fantastic flavors and aromas out of this. So I see what they're doing, and they're clearly doing a good job on it. Being on a small scale that we are, 200 gallons at a time is what we brew. The whole idea behind that was to just do small batches of beer. And for us, we can do that. I mean, I can't speak for every brewer out there, but for us, I think that's really what drives us is the unique characteristics that come from these hops or trying the malt. Consistency, yes, it's good to have consistency, but trying to push the boundaries and see where hop flavor can come from and what types of malt, what kind of malt can contribute to the final beer. So for us, it's always the experimentation of it and trying to find out where the limits can go as far as hops and malt go. But I mean, I've definitely known it, to see it in the way that the hops that we've gotten from UVM. They're just, fantastic, and they're different. So it's great. It's like, Eureka!